Hi Flosstube friends, this is Jill with Count on Linens. I'm back for an update. Today I'm in my sewing room and ready to share some stitchy goodness with you today. For those of you who are returning and subscribers, thank you so much for coming back. And for all those of you who are new, thanks for stopping in, and please consider subscribing. That would be really nice. So I'm going to give you just an overview of what I'm going to talk about today, and so you can decide if you want to stick around. So I'm going to give you a little update, some shop news, talk about Jingle Ball, my sister retreat. I have some finishes, a giveaway as part of those finishes, and some grateful favorites I'll talk about, new starts, WIPS, plans, and haul. So there you go. All right, so let's get started. So first of all, we had a big week, no, actually a big month with starting our Etsy shop, opening it up at the beginning of October, and putting our things up for sale. And this is what I have. So I have hand-dyed linen available in 4 colors. This is my fall collection. In my previous video, I give you a really good introduction of my product. These are all hand-dyed. I have 4 colors available. This one is Golden Sundance, Bryce Beauty, show you a little closer, Zion Sunset, and Salty Lake. And I'm based in Utah, and all of my colors are inspired by the landscape and beautiful surroundings of our state. So please consider going back to my second video, and this is video number 3, I failed to mention. So video number 2, I talk more about my linen, and then today I'm also going to showcase my colors in some of my, my WIPS or my starts or plans. So we'll go over that a little bit more, so you can have a better idea of what my linen is like. So it's been really nice to get that shop open and started. It was really exciting to send out my first set of orders. I was so appreciative and grateful for those who viewed my video and immediately got on Etsy and purchased. So thank you so much. I sent out 5 orders in the first couple of days, which was amazing. And then I've had sprinklings of orders throughout the month, and I've just been so pleased and really excited to send out my product to you. I also had some great comments in my last video about my colors, and one gal piped in and said, I already made my first order, so thank you so much. All right, so that's my shop news. And then we had registration for Jingle Ball, which I was excited to do this year. This is my first year doing it, and I got in, and I registered for 3 classes. So I will do #Joy hands-on design with Kathy. I will also be doing the gingerbread house with Stacy Nash, and then I will also do the Teresa Kogut's little garland with the snowmen. So I've been working on kitting up my projects for that. I am doing the PDF version and not the kits. So I'm kitting up my own projects and been working on that and anxious to get started. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be really fun. My friend Linda is also going to be participating in Jingle Ball. So hopefully I'll see her somewhere around there. Okay, so Sister Retreat. I hosted our little retreat this year for fall. My sisters and I and two of my friends, we've been gathering for the past, I don't know how long it's been, since 1997. We've been doing sister retreat. Sometimes, historically, we've been doing it every spring and fall, every year. Sometimes it's hit and miss, but we try to do twice a year, and we gather either at my sister's house, this time at my home, and we just bring our projects if we have any, take turns making food, and so it makes it easy for everybody. And we just maybe do a little shopping, and mainly gathering and just visiting and having a nice time together, catching up. And through the years we've established some great relationships, and have bonded and grown closer together through this experience. I encourage any of you who are thinking about doing a retreat with friends or sisters. My sister-in-laws are also involved in it, and it's been a great opportunity for us to really unite, bond, and share. We started with having young babies of our own to now our children having babies, and so now we're all grandmas, and it's just been so much fun to grow together. And also our projects have changed. We started with scrapbooking primarily, and moved into all different kinds of crafting or just projects, or things that we're interested in. It kind of moved into quilting and sewing, Christmas gifts or whatever we're working on, and then into stitching in the past couple of years, so as it's become more popular. So that's been really fun. So for the retreat, it was actually the same weekend as Shepherd's Bush retreat, and here in Utah we've had a couple of retreats this month. We had the Stitch West, which happened last weekend. I wasn't able to go to that because I wasn't on board for the registration, and didn't get in. But I wanted to share with you just a couple things that we did. So on the Friday, we gathered Thursday evening, and then Friday morning we picked up my mom and my sister Kimmy and my friend Linda and my mom and I. We went to Shepherd's Bush for a little shopping, and we didn't really know that their retreat was that weekend, and so we walked in and the place was packed. And so we thought, okay, well, here we are with all the stitchers. It was really fun to just be with everybody, and we got to meet some great people. I had the opportunity to meeting Pam and Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching, and got my photo taken with those sweet ladies. And we did some shopping, and we decided one of us needed to get in line because the line went all the way back to the very back of the store. And so my mom, my sweet mom, she's not a stitcher. She's a sewer, but not into cross stitch. And so she's like, I'm standing in line for you, and you girls shop. And so she got in line, and she was right behind Pam from the Just Keep Stitching Flosstube. And so my mom, I was kind of looking at her, during our shopping, and I'd look over and she was just chatting it up with all the ladies. And I got a picture of her doing that. But later she shared with me that after standing in line for about 5 minutes, she tapped Pam on the shoulder. And she said, isn't it just wonderful and inspiring to see all of these ladies from all over the country gathering for this craft? And my mom, this is my mom's first real experience being with cross stitchers. And Pam, of course, chimed in and chatted with her, and was really sweet. And the lady behind my mother, her name is Patty, so we got to know her, and so it was a really great time there at the shop. And of course, Terry and Tina were so charming and so sweet and so helpful for all of the customers there. So at the end of my video, towards the end, I'll show you some of the charts that I purchased at that time. Then after the shopping, we went across the street to a little pizza place that's really yummy. And we were having lunch, and my phone started beeping that I got a notification that I got some more sales in my Etsy shop. And I noticed that Stephanie had gone on and purchased some of my linen. So that was super sweet she just went right on, no hesitation, and supported me in my new journey with my product. So thank you, Stephanie and Pam, for being part of our day. So during the retreat, we did a lot of sewing and not a lot of stitching. We brought our sewing machines. One of the things that I worked on is behind me right here. I'll just show it to you right now. So we stopped by a little quilt store in the valley on our way back from Shepherd's Bush, and I got this pattern, and it was a kit, and I made it during the retreat. And it's really cute. It just has that cute Halloween cat and a sunflower and the pumpkin. It's called Catatula, and I cannot find the pattern. I looked all over and I couldn't find it. So that was really fun to make, and Kimmy also got the pattern. And so we'll have little matching little quilts for the fall season. My sister gifted me this little Lori Holt cup and a pack of fat quarters, Lori. So that was so sweet. Thank you, Kimmy. And then my friend Linda gifted me, she just tucked this away in my kitchen, and I found this later, and I haven't had a chance to thank you, Linda, for this sweet book. So a friend of hers in her sewing group published this little book. And in the book is a pattern for a quilt, and so she printed this off for me. So this should be really fun to do for a sweet baby gift. And so I'm going to be gifting this sweet book to my granddaughter. Usually we do gifts for our retreat in the spring. We do like favorite things and different, gifts like that. And then in the fall, we kind of tone it down because of just holiday season and just being a busy time of year. So that's a little update on our retreat. Okay. I also hosted a baby shower just last Saturday for my niece, Kimmy's daughter. And my daughter and I did it together, and we made some yummy fall soups and salads, and I actually made carameled apples for the first time in my life, and I love doing that. I love the caramel with the sweet caramel with the really tart green apple. It was just so yummy. But I bring this up because I made I did a little sewing for the event. I made a table runner for, I have a long dining room table, and I just thought it would be fun to make a centerpiece. So at Hobby Lobby, I was just searching around for some things to add to my decor for the shower, and I found a truck, a little blue truck, which I'll show in a photo. And then I went over to the fabric and I found some cute fabric that has the truck, just a blue truck with pumpkins and apples and sunflowers and all fun fall things. And so then I found some blue gingham, that really lightweight fabric, and just bought 2.5 yards of each, and it was 40% off. It was very inexpensive to do. And the night before the shower, I just whipped up this table runner super quick. I just forced myself to not spend a whole lot of time on it. And I made it longer than my table so that I could crunch it up in areas. And then I added some fall baskets that I thrifted. And my mom brought some fruit to add to the baskets. And so I'll share a picture, and that'll just give you an idea of something that you can do for those of you who sew. Something super quick that you can add to a display and make it pretty special for your event. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to some finishes. I have a couple of fall favorites that I'm going to share with you, some previous finishes that I've had for a few years. This one is called Be Thankful, and it is a Cricut, I think it's called Cricut Collection. I have it in my notes somewhere. Yeah, the Cricut Collection. And this pattern, I looked it up last night. It's still available in shops. This came out super big because I stitched this on, bring it up closer so you can kind of see. I stitched this on natural linen 20 count, and then I used 3 strands of embroidery floss, the DMC. And this is actually, I just copied this from my LNS, the craft center. They have this displayed the same size, and I really left the big, and so that's what I did. So I really love this one. I used all the called for DMC for that one. And then the next one I want to share, I just have 2. And many of you have seen this or have stitched it. Thankful, Blessed. I think it's called Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed. And this is a With a Needle and Thread Brenda Gervais. And I used all the called for except for the letters here. I purchased all of the linen and threads at Shepherd's Bush, and then Terry and Tina helped me because this color was ghosted. You can't really see it. I think it was Harvest Basket. We decided to use, they suggested I use oilcloth. Weeks Dye Works for the letters. But I really love this piece here. It has a couple of silks. I believe the pumpkin is silk and something else. I think it's maybe I can't remember. There was one other color that was silk. And then Jamie at the Craft Center did my frame, and she also did the frame on the Be Grateful. So I love this one so much. I'm always super excited to put this one up for fall. For usually put it up for the month of November for our gratitude month. I also have some finishes to share that are pretty new. So this one was a WIP last time and I finished her. This is called Bad Kitty by Teresa Kogut. You can find this in the Celebrations book, 15 Years of Needlework. And I just, to finish this, I just used some fabric in my stash, and then I did a trim. Instead of doing piping, I did just a little, I just folded over some fabric and then sewed that in. And Bad Kitty is stitched on my Golden Sundance linen, and then I used all the DMC called for that Teresa provided in her chart. I really love this finish. I stuffed it with a little bit of polyfill and mostly with the what's it called? Walnut shells. This one is another, I stitched this years ago. This is Give Thanks for This Day by Hands On Design by Kathy. And I've had this frame probably, I don't know, a couple of years. I bought it for this and then I just never put it together. And then last night I'm like, I'm doing this, I'm putting it together. And so I just laced it on the board that it came in. It had like, I don't know, something else on the board, and I just popped it out, put this in, laced it onto the board. I put some batting just to make it soft, and then glued it down, and then I covered the back with some paper. And then it just stands up. So that's really fun. I really love the white pumpkin. And when I bought this pattern and the fabric is just I don't know what I was looking for. The model is actually stitched on a real mustard gold. It's a really cute mustard. And at the time, I think it was 2020 when I was kitting this up, I couldn't find the mustard, but the ladies at Shepherd's Bush sent this over to me. We thought this would be good. So there's another finish for you. Okay, now I have a new start. I wanted to find a Christmas stitch that I could put on my Zion Sunset linen. And I wanted something monochromatic, something with just one color of thread. And so I found this Pennsylvania 2, Christmas 2, by The Kitten Stitcher by Teresa Vanette. So this pattern was incorporated from an antique sampler that Teresa found. And part of these are just part of the sampler, and the sampler is a long, and they call it a towel. And so I found this PDF and thought this would be great to have to showcase my Zion Sunset. And so I have just a little start. And so I'm using bamboo for the color. This is my thread. So I thought that will show up nicely. So during my retreat with my sisters and my friends, I sewed up 5 project bags. So I wanted to show those to you. So the first one is Hometown Holiday fabric from Lori Holt. And then I'm using the zipper, her zippers for all of these, or most of them. And then I just used the fabric inside for coordinating for that. And then I will show you later what is housed in my Hometown Holiday bag. You probably will take a good guess of what will be in there. I also made an autumn using her autumn fabric, Lori Holt's. And then I used the autumn talk for inside. So this one is super fun. I love it. And then this is the back. And then I also made another autumn bag with some leftover fabric from a piece that I finished last month. And then the same on the back. And then inside, this is a Sandy Gervais Moda fabric. And then I have some coordinating stripe fabric for inside. And I have a whip in here that I'll show you in a minute. And then I love this one. This one is my Halloween bag. My really good friend Michelle, who we missed at a retreat. Michelle, we missed you so much. She couldn't make it this time. She gifted me a curated bundle of fat quarters years ago, and then I decided, oh, this would make a perfect bag. So here's my Halloween trick-or-treat bag. Thank you, Michelle. And then my last bag is my beehive bag. And then inside is pink bees. And so this one I have not used, and I would like to use it as a giveaway for my video today. And so if you are interested in participating in the video and would like to win this, have a chance to win this bag, if you would like to leave a comment, of course subscribe and like my video, leave a comment, and then answer the question of what is your most favorite gratitude chart right now. Something that you've already done or something that you'd like to do. And so I'd love to know, because I'm looking for some good ideas. And then also write down in your comment project bag, and please do not use the word giveaway. But I will be looking for, I'll generate those comments with the word project bag in your comment. Thank you. So those are the bags that I made. I just really did a good assembly line after I made one. I actually used Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. I used her tutorial, which is super helpful, incredible tutorial. And I encourage you to go onto her site and find that. That was really helpful if you'd like to. It's just a really good size, and then it turns so that when you open up the bag, everything is finished. So all the seams are finished, and the sides, and it's just a really nice. Your product at the end, you'll be really happy with the results if you'd like to make one. So thank you, Elizabeth. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and share some WIPS with you. This one is one that I shared last time, and I've been working on this. This is called Autumn Garland by Madame Chantilly. This is the chart. Here. She is based in Italy, our little Italian designer. And here is my progress. So I finished the gold leaves around the nest, and then I dropped down to this side and made the white, stitched the white flowers and down here. And then I actually worked on this last night and finished the leaves. And then down at the bottom is a pumpkin and a white heart. So I'm almost done with this, and I would love to finish this year. My friend Michelle and I started this together. We purchased it at Shepherd's Bush together on our retreat 2 years ago. And I'm using, the fabric is Heartland by Picture This Plus. Show it again. It's a really nice modeling. And then I'm using the conversion of Shepherd's Bush for the colors of threads. So that's a fun one, and I'm hoping to get that one done. So I'll work on that one in November. And then another WIP that I have is I'm participating in the SAL for the hometown holiday. Lori Holt at the Fat Quarter Shop is hosting the SAL. Sew Along. And I'm using Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. There's my progress. You can see it a little better if I do that. And then my colors are a little muted because I did a coffee dunk with the floss, and then I dried them in the oven just to give it a more subtle result. And then of course this is housed in my hometown holiday bag. So I really loved making this bag, and I love working on this little project, and I plan to give this to my daughter Rachel because she asked for a small to put in her holiday decor, and so I'm going to be giving this to Rachel. And so Rachel, if you're listening, I'm going to really try hard to get this one done for you. I also have a Sabbath stitch. I'm working on Elizabeth Hunt, and this is a Brenda Gervais chart that I've showed you before. I love this chart. I'm getting very close to a finish. This is a reproduction. And the little gal, Elizabeth, she was only 7 years old. And she designed and stitched this design. And I am very close to a finish. What I did is, on this side actually, I'm working on this bottom corner border. You can see the flowers where I need to fill in. So I outlined those. I finished all the greenery around this corner. And so I just need to fill in the flowers, and then I need to finish this bird. I didn't even know that I forgot that or I guess I didn't realize that I didn't even do this part. And it looks like this bird on this side. Sorry. And then I am just working on the bees. And Carol Saltbox Stitcher, she just finished hers. And she talked about doing her little bees. And so I thought, I better hurry and get those bees in while she was talking about them, because those are the kind of the last things that I put on the back burner to finish. And then I am debating whether or not to put Elizabeth's name in, or add one of my grandmother's names. And I'm really leaning towards adding my grandmother's name. And my grandmother Grace had a beautiful garden in her backyard, and she had a red brick home. She lived in Salt Lake City. She was a nurse at St. Mark's Hospital for, I think over 30 years. And she served her community, and I have such fond memories of my Grandma Grace. And so I think that I'm going to honor her and with the sampler and add her name when I get down to the very end. So I'll show you my progress on that when I get that finished. So those are all of my WIPs. And now I will move on with plans. So like I said, I want to finish Autumn Garland in the month of November. I'll work on my Jingle Ball prep. And then I have a birthday coming up in another week. And so I thought I'd do a birthday start. Don't we love our birthdays, girls? It's so fun growing older. Okay, so dwelling place, I've had this kitted for quite some time, except for the fabric. And I decided this is a Teresa Kogut, by the way. And I think this came out, 23. So this was last year's design from her release. It was probably a market release, but I thought I would do Salty Lake for my fabric. And I'm just going to pull this out so you can see the modeling on this one. Of course, every piece is different, but there's a good, see, contrast there. So I thought this would be a nice piece for, I'm working on getting my floss organized. I just made these little floss drops, and then I'll finish adding my DMC to those. So this will be my birthday start. My birthday is the first week in November. And so that'll be a nice way to begin the new year for me. And then another plan I have, and I'm bringing this up now. This is something that I want to start in January, and if you'd like to start with me, I'm going to do what's called a Throwback Thursday SAL. And so I have a chart, and the idea for a Throwback Thursday is, if you'd like to participate with me, is to find a chart or a WIP that you've had going for several years, or maybe a chart that you want to start, maybe a chart that you've had for several years. And so what I would like to work on Thursdays is this Stony Creek Summertime. And I actually started this during, in 2018, I participated in the Mania, the month of May, and where you start lots of projects in the month of May. And so this was one of them. And so here's all my DMC for that. It's a really nice soft color palette of nice pastels. And so I was actually working on this, and I would work it on Thursdays. And then I stopped, and I haven't touched it for a couple of years. I'm using the lamb's wool linen, and you can see I haven't pulled it out. I didn't even iron it, ladies, sorry. But this is what I have so far, and this is a 28 count, and I'm actually just using one thread, 1/2. And this is like an all over design, meaning, I guess, would you call it, was it, I want to say potpourri. It's not potpourri. Confetti. Confetti stitching, where, you have all the different shades going on. And then, of course, the background is just your linen. So it's not an all-over design, but it does have a lot of that confetti stitching. And so it can be a little time-consuming. And the chart is actually hand-drawn. And so it's a little hard to read at times. And so I might do some coloring it in to help me out. So I'm going to be starting this SAL and I'll create a hashtag for it. So be thinking about if you do want to participate, if you want to choose one of your charts that you've had for a while, do a Throwback Thursday with me. I will revisit this with you in my next Flosstube in December, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, and then we'll get started on it in January after the holidays. And I have my project in one of my project bags that I made. This was a few years back, and I just used some of my nice cottons that I've had in my stash. Okay, and then another plan that I have is to start this Matter in Hand by Jeanette Douglas. Some ladies at Stitch West, I can't remember her name. I will link it in my description, but who's starting this sale, but it's called October to October, and a few ladies started this, stitchers, there might be some gents in there too, started this chart during Stitch West, and so I thought I would join. And so I'm going to be stitching mine on my Golden Sundance linen, and then I kitted up, gathered my threads, and so I thought that would be nice. I don't have all of them. I need to grab the pinks, I think. I need to add those pinks. But I've always loved this chart, and I've always wanted to start it, and so I thought this is a great opportunity. And of course I had like severe FOMO during Stitch West. Like, yeah, I'm here. I'm just like across the valley doing my own thing. But I just love Snug Harbor Crafts ladies, Debbie and Kev. And I have watched their Flosstube for many years. I just love them and appreciate what they've done for the stitching community and providing such a great retreat for all of you. If you've come to Salt Lake City and gone to Stitch West, I hope that you had a great time. We had beautiful weather during this past couple of weeks for the retreats for the Shepherd's Bush and the Stitch West. And now today it's rainy and cold. So there you have it. All right. One last plan I have. I'm going to be helping my daughters get started on a quilt, and we're going to be working on this quilt for 2 weeks in November. That will start like around my birthday. And so my daughter in Alabama, Josie, for a couple of months now, she says, "Mom, I want to make a puff quilt." I'm like, okay. So she's like, "I want to make a puff quilt." And so she keeps bringing it up. So like, okay, let's do it. And so when I was at her house last month for a visit, we got out her boyfriend's mother's sewing machine. And we got that all, oiled up, and we changed the needle, and we did a little test on it, and we got it going for her. And then we bought a mat and a rotary blade and got her all set up. And so she's looking for fabric. And then my daughter here, local, Rachel, she also wants to jump in on the fun. And so I'm going to help her get started. And so she's looking for a sewing machine right now. So I will link below a tutorial that we found for a puff quilt that some young gals in my daughter's generations has jumped on and decided to, she was really cute, she decided to make a puff quilt similar to the one that her grandmother made her. And it turned out so cute. And what she did was, to finish it, she tied little X's with yarn in the corner, in every corner, and then tied it on the back. And so it's a great starter quilt for for those just starting quilting where you have a way to finish the back and the front at the same time. So we'll be doing that. I'm going to be using some, just fabric from my stash, and so we'll see what we come up with, and I'll share with you some results, hopefully in December. Okay, so on to haul. I just have a few things. Just some charts that I got at Shepherd's Bush. Sorry for the bag noise. Get rid of that. Here's a bee chart by the Nebby Needle. And I thought that those would be super fun, these little rounds. And I'm really into beehives right now. So I also found a Teresa Kogut needle book, the Honeybee Needle Book. So that's another beehive chart that I would love to start sometime next year. You can see a theme here with beehives. Primrose Cottage stitches. I would rather be stitching. So I love this finish too. So that little beehive is so cute with the bee. And then the scissors right there. And some threads. I actually bought more, but I had to pull them for different things. And they gave us a chart for free. Do what you love, heart and hand. And then this Cricut collection chart, October. I don't know if you've ever seen this before stitched, but they had this on display at the shop. And it was just so cute, and I could not resist. So this will be a chart that I'll start next year. Super fun. It's just really detailed, and the way it's stitched is just so, there's just a lot of, texture in it. And then, of course, they have a conversion, their little color conversion that I'll do. And these Cricut collection, it's a nice, sturdy chart. I really like that. And then I went back into the Ogden area a week later for my granddaughter's birthday. And she just turned 7 and had a fun birthday party. And my husband and I went to that, and then of course I had to stop by Shepherd's Bush. I walked in, and there, chatting with Tina and Terry, was Cecilia Turner from Heart and Hand. So I was able to meet her, and she was actually there to do like a little quasi like interview with the ladies and talk about her new release, which is Christmas etchings. And so I had to get this. And this will totally remind me of meeting Cecilia. I got a picture with her. She was so sweet, and her husband was there. And they were just finishing up their week in Utah and then heading up to Idaho or Wyoming or somewhere to finish off their vacation in the West. So this one is just so vintage and so, I just think so pretty, so beautiful. So I was happy to get that and to meet her. So what a fun month. I also have for my haul some thrifted things. So about a month ago, I was in one of my thrifting stores, thrift shops, and I found this box of, it just looked just like this. And I just grabbed it and put it in my cart. It was $2. I thought, okay, I don't know the condition or what's going on with the fabric, but the fabric is actually wovens. I pulled it out and sorted through, and They're really beautiful wovens and flannels, and the pattern's called The Long Winter by Remember When. And so if I have time, I don't know if I'll have time this winter, maybe in January, I'll start this on a cold winter day, maybe when it's snowing outside, and get this stitched up. $2. I mean, you cannot go wrong. I think the only thing that I need to find are some more fabric to match this. I just need a couple more pieces, and so that was a really fun find. I also found a stack of Missouri Star quilt books, and they're about $1.50 each, and they're just block books. And so I thought these would be good to give to friends. Maybe my daughters would like to use them in the future, because now they're going to be quilters, right? Right, girls? Okay. And then during my trip to see Josie in Alabama, I found, not this basket, but I just put it in here, some notions, just some assortment of threads and notions. And I wanted to ask you sewers out there, what you think this is. So this is like a meshy, oh, I just ripped it. It's like a little stretchy, it's very thin, mesh. Would this be used for like buttons, or like to sew on buttons? I don't even know. If you know what this is, could you please comment and let me know? It kind of reminds me of that mesh that but actually it would be like a stronger, bigger version. You know, the weed, the mesh you put down in your garden or your flower beds to prevent the weeds from growing in. It kind of reminds me of, it has that texture. And then some dressmaker's pattern paper, a couple of quilt patterns, and then in my local shop I found an embroidery. This is actually just a little kit with some felt and some hoops, and I thought, well, I probably won't make the design but use the materials for something else, or perhaps my grandkids could use the felt, or I could use it for something. So you never know what you're going to find at the thrift stores, or who you're going to meet when you walk into a shop. Thank you so much for joining me today and participating in all the fun things that stitchers worldwide can do together through this community of Flosstube. I'm so grateful for the chance to provide linen and be a contributor that way, to be part of this community, and grateful for this month of November where we can focus on gratitude and be grateful for all the things in our lives, both good and bad, whatever comes our way, that we may find beauty in our everyday and enjoy our time with our craft and enjoy what we do. Be grateful and inspired every day, and we'll see you next time.